Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Austin, Texas. You know, it's a city that's famous for marching to its own beat, a place that just feels different from the rest of the Lone Star State.
You know, this quote from our source material, it really nails it. It gets right to the heart of Austin's unique reputation. And this isn't something new. It's a vibe that's been built up for decades, setting it way apart from places like Dallas or Houston.
So, the big question is, what makes Austin so different? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look at all the things that shaped it. We're talking its economy, its geography, and that vibe. You just can't deny it. It has a certain vibe. All right, let's get into it. So here's how we're going to break it down. We've got 5 parts to this story, and we'll start with the very core of what makes Austin, well, Austin. All right, first up, the city's unique character. I mean, our sources call it a place of compelling dualities, which is a fancy way of saying it's full of contrasts, right? It's this incredible hub for both nature and business, a center for the arts, and for top-tier education. It's that special mix that really makes it one of a kind.
In this picture, it just says it all. This is Austin's story in a single shot. You've got this constant conversation happening between its past and its super fast-growing present. I mean, look at that. Historic 19th century buildings right there in the shadow of these massive modern skyscrapers. It's like you can literally see the city's journey right there.
Okay, so how did Austin get this way? How did it become this exception to the rule? Well, the story of modern Austin is really a story of explosive growth. And that growth was fueled by 2 massive connected forces, a major university and the high-tech industry.
It really all kicked off with the University of Texas. And get this, back in 1924, they discovered oil on university land. That discovery absolutely supercharged its endowment, turning it into this powerhouse of research and talent. And that foundation, that brain power, is what eventually drew in the tech industry that really defines Austin's economy today.
And just look at the result of all that. The scale of the boom is just staggering. I mean, the city's population almost doubled in just a little over 20 years. Think about that. It jumped from being the 27th largest city in the US all the way up to the 14th. That is a wild transformation.
So who's actually hiring all these people? Well, this table gives us a great snapshot. Just look at the mix. On one hand, you've got the rock-solid stability of government jobs, state, city, federal. But right there with them, you've got a who's who of the tech world. We're talking Dell, IBM, Apple, all with thousands of employees. It's this perfect storm of public and private sector giants that makes the city's economic engine so powerful.
But you know, a great job market is only half the story, right? The other huge draw for Austin is its incredible landscape. It's this amazing spot where the rugged Texas hill country literally meets a bustling city. And at the heart of it all is the Colorado River. It flows right through the middle of the city. But a series of dams has turned it into this chain of beautiful lakes, a watery playground really, that stretches for over 100 miles. And let me tell you, those lakes are absolutely central to the whole Austin lifestyle.
The geography here can be pretty dramatic, though. We're talking about a region that's known for flash floods, the kind that can pop up with scary speed. So to handle that risk, the biggest of all the lakes, Lake Travis, was actually built as a giant flood control reservoir.
And what that means is the lake's water level can swing like crazy. I mean, our sources say there's a difference of more than 96 feet between its all-time high and its all-time low. That's huge. So it's this constantly changing environment, which you can really see in these 2 photos. Totally different worlds, right?
So here's the thing. This amazing place, this paradise for boaters and swimmers, also has a really dangerous side. Those changing water levels create some pretty unusual hazards. In fact, it got so serious that back in 2011, Lake Travis was actually ranked #1 in the entire state for accidental fatalities. So yeah, it's a place that definitely demands your respect.
So when you put it all together, this booming economy and this incredible natural beauty, you get a very special cultural vibe. It's this cool mix of being super creative and also fiercely entrepreneurial.
And of course, Austin loves to call itself the live music capital of the world. And for good reason. It's a hat tip to a music scene that really exploded onto the national stage back in the 70s, when icons like Willie Nelson decided to call Austin home and basically shaped its whole musical soul.
And that same creative spark, that same energy, it fuels an incredible entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, think about it. Giants like Dell and Whole Foods got their start right here. This is the city where Twitter basically became, well, Twitter, during the South by Southwest Festival. The whole ecosystem is just a magnet for everyone, from tiny startups to the biggest names in tech. It's a real oasis for new ideas.
Which, of course, brings us to the huge question facing Austin today. How do you manage all this incredible success? How do you keep from losing the very soul that made you so special in the first place?
Well, for a long time, there's been this really unique city rule in place called the Capitol View Corridor. Basically, it protects the view of the Texas state capitol from different spots around the city. And that rule has had a huge impact on the skyline, keeping buildings relatively low compared to other big cities.
But then, around 2007, a massive development boom kicked off. The city was offering incentives to build up the downtown area, and developers jumped on it. And that has totally reshaped the skyline. You started seeing high-rises like the 360 condominiums, and then the even taller Austonian, just shooting up and towering over everything.
And really, this all points to the core challenge for Austin's future. It's a really delicate balancing act. On one side, you have the unique, laid-back culture that put it on the map. And on the other, you have the unstoppable growth that comes with being a major American city.
So here's the final question we're left with. As Austin keeps growing, can it hold on to that balance? Can it stay both a boomtown and, a little bit bohemian? Can it keep that creative, laid-back, un-Texan soul that drew everyone there in the first place? Honestly, the answer to that is going to define Austin's next chapter.